You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and do best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever.
Yeah, same thing. You know, just keep putting ourselves in these positions. Obviously, you got to make plays. Happened in the Laker game. You know, their two guys made plays, and tonight, you know, Orlando's their two guys made plays. Paolo and Bain drove us, got to the rim. I mean, we can look at our offense, but we gave up 37 points. Now, some of those were free throws at the end, but let's call it a 30-point quarter. To close out these games, you know, our defense has to be better in the fourth quarter, starting there, you know, because that can keep us, no matter whether shots are going in or not, it could have held the lead for us. You know, we're up, 7-9, something like that, with 9 minutes to go. Put ourselves in a great position, good execution. We were making shots, and then we fell off there for a bit. So, we'll keep learning, keep growing. We're going to, get back at it again and put ourselves in these positions again. Well, their defense, obviously, it picked up, right? And you got to go make plays. Ultimately, we were 3 for 10 at the rim in the fourth quarter. 3 for 10, you know. They made their shots in the paint. We had a hard time. I think we were 9 for 11 in the third quarter in the paint, in the rim. Fourth quarter, those didn't drop for us, you know. So we got to have more poise and execute down the stretch. But you got to make plays, bottom line, all of us, you know. And that's my job, to keep helping put them in position. But ultimately, we got to go make plays.
What did you think of the job the bench did, especially kind of in the first half? After that, the tentative start to...
Yeah, I thought they were great. Eve came in, PV came in, Hawk, that group was fantastic. Poole made some big plays. Obviously, he got going offensively. So the bench was a big part of that run. And then DQ in the third I thought was good. So I rode with him for most of the third, but I thought Eve was fantastic in the first half. That group has been really good.
Coach, talk a little bit about coming into Orlando, visiting as an NBA road team as opposed to when you were here. How challenging is this a tough place to play on the road?
Every road game's tough. I mean, this one included. The fans pick it up in the fourth, and it's a great fan base. So, but no matter what, to get a road win in this league, it's very difficult, no matter where you're at. So, I always enjoy coming back here. They're always a tough challenge. I thought our group battled when they were fantastic tonight. We just couldn't close. Last 6-7 minutes, we got to be better. Good.
Zion is a guy with a lot of tools and a high ceiling. Talk a little bit about the player and the person, and again, he can really be special.
Yeah, he's tremendous talent. He is special. He brings it every night. He has a great spirit about him, high character, cares about the game, the city, the organization. He's a massive competitor, and these losses hurt, but he bounces back the next day. He's self-reflective. He's curious on how to get better. We're trying to help him get better, and I think he's having a heck of a year, and the biggest thing is he's healthy. When he's healthy, good things happen for us, and he's been fantastic. So love coaching the kid. Great. Thank you.
All right, for all things Pelicans, now tune into the Pelican Post-Game Report. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all for being in this episode of PPR. Man, listen, Pelicans can't close versus Magic again, 128-118. Pels go down to the Magic, and this is one of the things that we kind of talked about here on PPR, is the fact that the Magic have had the Pelicans number. But, man, listen, this is a game that I watched. The Pelicans should have won this game. And once again, the magical 9-factor quarter is the fourth quarter in which the Pelicans scored a game-low 20 points in the fourth quarter. They were outscored by 17 in the fourth quarter, ultimately shutting down their opportunity to win this matchup. So shout out to you guys. Appreciate you for being in the stream, even though it's nothing to pretty much like it, as opposed to just being consistent and being here for the family. Thank you, Michael. Shout out to Michael. Big ups to Michael with the super chat. We lose the same way every game. That's crazy work, but very true. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you, brother.
Stay cool. Nobody gets hurt. Take that money out. Come on. Wasting my time now. Come on. Stop stalling.
No Jose, no Herb, no Sadiq, no fourth quarter for the Pelicans. They lose their 32nd game, 9-32 on the season. DC, the Magic came in here, man, and they did what we anticipated. They did some magic on the Pelicans, man, and it really worked. Bane was big time in this game for them as well, and they just handled the business against the Pelicans. First of all, shout out to you guys. DC, welcome on in, man. Let's get some older breakdown on this one, brother.
Appreciate that money. You know what I'm saying? Let me see, my stuff still working. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, DC. You got it, brother. You got it.
Yeah, well, the Pelicans lose another game. Pretty much this one, if you ask me, was on coaching. The refs were kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? What game was this reminded me of the Lakers game. I'm not gonna lie, man. They just had like possession after possession, just of these weird ass calls. The Lakers calls I thought were a little more crazy, but the ball clearly went off. What is it? Gogo Batadza, or whatever that guy's name is. The ball went off his hand, off his elbow. It was obvious as hell. We challenge it. They don't give us the challenge, right? They call the challenge on Bryce McGowan's. His foot moved a little bit, so they're not technically wrong. But I'm like, we was just right on the other end, and they overturned that shit for them. Give them the points and the ball. It's like, man, what the fuck is going on? And then they had the countless times that Paolo gets downhill and gets a foul. It's like, okay, that's Paolo. They attacking downhill. Okay, they get some free throws. But what I'm trying to figure out, how we had the same amount of points in the paint as them, and they shot like 14 or 13 more free throws or something like that? Or was it just 10?
Nah, it was like 20 more free throw attempts.
They shot 20 more free throw attempts than us, and we're attacking in the paint the same way. Like, I understand what AD be talking about on the broadcast. He, call it the same way. He right, man. It's like, how are you gonna call one thing at one end for the same type of team or play style and don't call it at the other end? But this is the NBA. This is what it is. And regardless of all that, I still think the Pels could have won this game, and they fumbled that shit away. Zion, I don't know why they had a stretch right in the fourth quarter. Jordan Poole played amazing, for like 3.5 quarters, right? And they had a stretch in the fourth where he started getting a little sloppy with the ball. It wasn't just him; it was just that whole lineup, right? I'm not like putting it on Jordan Poole, but I'm looking at it. I'm like, put Zion back in the game. Put Zion back in the game. Put Zion back. He subs in Fears. I think before he put Zion back in. Trey magically went out there. It's like, I think everybody should have won. Sometimes it's when we have a lead, it's just no sense of urgency sometimes, because he does sometimes have a sense of urgency to keep it. But like, you could slowly see the magic creeping up, man. And I just was looking for that mass substitution where you put everybody back out there. I think that could have held him off a little bit, but I don't know. Borrego is the opposite of Willie Green, man. He just does a little too much with the rotations. Sometimes it can be really simple and we overcomplicate it, man. So that as well as with the players, not handling their business. Fears. I ain't gonna lie, man. The last two games have been really refreshing watching Jamar Fears. But you gotta make that layup, man. You gotta make that layup. He's getting so smart. He's doing so many things better, and he's improving. I see the facilitation improving. The way he's making decisions is improving. But you got to make that layup, man. You cannot miss a layup with 2 minutes and something left in the game. That I think it would have tied the game. Or if it wouldn't have tied it, we would have been down by like 1 point or something.
Yeah, you'd have been down 1.
You gotta make that layup, man. You're wide open, but he gonna learn, bro. He got them jets, and I think sometimes he get a little too anxious, man. It's hard as hell to make a layup going full speed, you know what I'm saying? But adrenaline pumping, I get it. But you gotta find a way to make that shit. That could have been the difference in us winning or losing this game too. But we still would have been down by 1, and defensively, we couldn't do anything to stop them. And the last thing I want to say, I'm going to let you get to the stats and statistics, man. They had a beautiful 2-man game and sometimes 3-man game going with Queen and Trey. And, you was mixing Zion in there, doing stuff with Trey. That shit worked all game, man. We got in the tough possessions in the fourth quarter, and we didn't execute on that at all, man. It's almost like we just went away from it. So this team is still suffering from lack of having an identity or knowing what their bread and butter is, man, because you need that in, crucial clutch possessions. That's why we can't ever win close games, because we don't know who we are. We don't know what we want to do. We don't have a real strategy or plan of attack at the end of games. And this is something that's followed us. That's why I be joking with my little ghost of Willie Green shit. This has followed us the whole Willie Green tenure. But looking at it now, who was the offensive coordinator for the most of Willie Green's tenure? James Borrego, right? So we wanted to give all of that credit to Willie because, he was always giving everybody credit. So it was only right that we give him that credit, right? But it looks like this may have been a James Borrego situation because Willie's no longer here, and it's still the same thing, man. Just where's the plays? Where's the good plays to end out the game? I understand you're going to put the ball in Zion's hands, but it's got to be a little more than that, don't you think?
Yeah, and this is a point of contention, man. I talk about this a lot on PPR. It's the fact that the Pelicans the roles, where are the roles? Who's the closer? All this sort of thing. We talk about this all the time. These guys doing all this coaching, talking about playing together and all this kind of nonsense, but this is 41 games. With this game right here, the Pelicans have reached 41 games on the year. And you're not seeing them learn anything from a defensive standpoint. They had a few better defensive plays, but either they don't close out like they're supposed to. They don't know what they're doing. It's nothing consistent, and that's the confusion. It shouldn't be this confusing for guys to figure out what you're doing in the clutch moments of time. They're supposed to be doing this stuff at practice when they talk about how to close out games. It ain't all about going to the layup line and practicing free throws and doing 3-point shooting drills and all this nonsense. You got to actually practice scheme if they have one. I mean, that's what's killing them. And teams are better coached and executing when they know what they need to do. Guys know what they need to do defensively to close out and win games. And the Pelicans keep dealing with the same stuff. They only playing 3 quarters of a game. I keep saying the same thing. This is a team that's not constructed to win and compete like they're supposed to, because they can't get them to consistently play 4 solid quarters. And they'll play 3 and be in position, and then allow a team to hold them to 20 points, whatever the circumstance is. And they're like tonight, fourth quarter, or this afternoon rather. These people lost the game. The Magic held them to 20 points, scored almost 40 points in the fourth quarter, and beat them by 17 points in the fourth quarter in terms of scoring. So it's just one of these things. Plus, historically speaking, over the last couple of years, they've struggled against this team. That's now the ninth. I want to say the ninth straight loss against the Orlando Magic, or the 10th straight. I forget. I think it's 8th straight. I don't know. I forgot. It's a lot of losing against this team. They can't figure out how to beat this team. The way you beat any damn team is you play 4 solid quarters of play and you close the game out. You don't fumble away the ball. You don't turn the ball over on bad passes. You make the layups. You make the shots. You lock in. You play defense. You steal the game away. You seal the game. You don't allow that to happen. This team doesn't. And once again, I hear Borrego giving a lot of love to players again, and I get it, man. But at the end of the day, you also get that Borrego ain't the head coach of this team. I mean, it takes somebody that's really gonna chump down on this team and make sure, hey man, and make these guys understand that if you don't do what you're supposed to do, what I want you to do, you will not see the court. I mean, that you need a disciplined style of coach that's serious about winning and building the culture. And for those who ain't participating, we're going to get you up out of here. For those who want to play and do what needs to be done to win, we want you here. And it's just too much good friend basketball going on. It's too much nice guy basketball and 3-quarter basketball in my estimation. All right, let's hit some of these statistics, man, DC, and I'll turn it back over to you. Big ups to y'all. Y'all hit that like button. Yes, guys, sitting guys too long. Yeah, it's becoming quite obvious and clear based on what we've seen. I know Borrego's been here as an interim head coach now for more than enough games to understand what he needs to do to make this team competitive. The Pelicans tonight, they shoot 57% from the field, 46 of 80. They shot 14 of 26 from downtown for them today, and that was for 54%. From the foul line, they were 12 of 15 for 80%. All respectable numbers, but the Magic were 43 of 82 for 52, 11 of 24 for 46. And the biggest stinker is the fact that they got a lot of home cooking in Orlando. They went to the line 35 times and converted 31 of 35 for 89% against the Pelicans.
So this the Orlando Lakers.
I say again?
This is the Orlando Lakers, right?
That's pretty much how it played. They got some serious home cooking. But the crazy part about it is we didn't get the Lakers were a home game. We didn't get the home cooking against the Lakers.
We don't get no cooking when it comes to refs, Q.
You don't get no respect.
We don't get any cooking.
You don't get no respect. You know, people, the thing about it, like what you seen Gogo Patazzi basically set up and build a portable home in the paint all night long and didn't get called but one time at the end of the game. That's something that Borrego has to make a point to scream at these effing officials when Batassi's standing in the paint all this long. You gotta put heat on these people. Heat works on everybody. It works on the referees. It works on players. It works on coaches. It works on owners. It works on everybody. When you turn up the heat on these people, they start doing what they're supposed to do. When you start spotlighting them, you can't sit there with your arms folded and having a look of disgust on your face. You got to really get heated and animated and make it a point to call out that you're not calling these plays. These guys camping in the paint. And they're not called. You see what I'm saying? You can't let them just make it.
Yeah, they was doing defensive 3 seconds in the lane all night, bro. They'll never call it, man.
Never. I was like, man, they ain't gonna call that. They ain't gonna call that.
Wow, we should have started doing it, right? I would like, why we ain't do it
all night? Well, they'll call you when you do it. They'll call you. Obviously, they had it on.
And I keep pointing it out. I don't know. I think we got to get a little ignorant, bro. Like, I just think what a great coach would do. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll exploit it and like shine a light on it, even if it calls for you doing it. Like, what if you did defensive 3 seconds 3 times in a row? Yeah, you're gonna give up the free throw. But wouldn't that force them to like look at it on the other end? Well, you can't keep calling it on me and then let them do it. Like everybody who watching the game not retarded. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, they calling it on him, but they not. What is going on?
You got to play. You got to make it a point of contention with the referees. You know, you got to make it known that I know. You know, you're not calling this fairly. You know, this is that guy's been sitting in the paint all game long. If you got to make your guys stand in the paint for a little bit to get the call, whatever you got to do. Sometimes you got to play little psychological games with these people. You know, sometimes you do because the guys that make the most noise, they get the calls. You hear
Right.
the Shays and the LJs and all these other people. These guys get the call because they make the noise. Now you hear Zion running up and doing all this other kind of stuff, but it has to be more from the team perspective. Like you got to force them to do what they're supposed to do. You got to turn the heat up on them. You got to. But anyway, 35 attempts versus 15 in Orlando is really crazy. The rebound game, Magic 39-26 over the Pelicans, 11 offensive for them. The assist game was even at 27. Steals 10-8. Their way, blocks 9-3 Pels. Wade Pels 16 turnovers. They conceded 27 points versus 13 by the Magic that conceded 25 points. Fast break is even. Points in the paint was even. And of course, like I said, man, it's one of the situations where it was interesting. The game changes, all this kind of stuff. You can see right here the largest lead Magic had was 12. Pelicans had this game, man. Really lost it in the fourth. All right, anyway, let's hit the individual statistics. DC, then I'll turn it back over to you. You mentioned some of this stuff already in some of the player breakdown, but Zion Williamson led the effort this afternoon. 22 points in 32 minutes from Zion. He was 9-14 from the field. 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block for Zion this afternoon. Trey Murphy had 21 points in 37 minutes, 8 of 15 from the field, 3 of 7 from downtown. He had 7 boards, 6 assists. He also had 3 turnovers for the night. Off the bench, Jordan Poole, 23 minutes, 21 points, 7 of 11. He hit 6 3-pointers tonight. Poole had it going on. Should have been a pool party, but he was 6 3-pointers tonight. He was on 1, 2 assists. He did have 4 turnovers, but nonetheless, a 20-point game by Poole off the bench. 16 from Jeremiah Fears in 28 minutes, 7 of 12 from the field. He did hit 2 3-pointers, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers this time for the young fella. 10 for DQ in 28 minutes. He had 10 points on 8 attempts. He finished with 10 points. 3 rebounds. He had 3 rebounds tonight, 6 assists. He had 4 turnovers and 2 blocks. Kind of an off game by DQ in terms of that. But outside of that, what can we talk about? But him, he's still rookie, still trying to figure this stuff out. Karlo Mikovic, at 18 minutes, he had 11 points. He was perfect, 4 for 4. He had a 3-pointer. He had both his free throws. Karlo was doing this thing, 11 points and an assist. No rebounds by Karlo. And this was 7 points in 18 minutes by Yves Mies. He also threw in 5 rebounds and 4 blocks plus 7 from Yves off the bench. PV had 2 points. He was not really all that offensively, but defensively had some good plays. Plus 14 for him. 1 of 6 shooting from the field. 0 for 3 from downtown. 2 points, a board, and 3 assists. Jordan Hawkins, 11 minutes, 2 points from Jordan Hawkins.
2-point assassin.
2 points for Jordan Hawkins rather. And that's pretty much it. Then, of course, you cycle over to the Orlando Magic, and you see what they got going on there. Desmond Bane did his thing against the Pelicans. 27 points from Bane, plus 17 on his side of things. 26 from Anthony Black, who shot 3 or 4 from downtown, plus 17 from him. 23 from Paolo with 8 rebounds, 8 assists for Paolo, plus 18 on his side of the thing. Gogo had 14 points and 13 boards with 3 steals and 2 blocks. 16 off the bench from Tristan Da Silva. He hit 4.
What did I tell you, Q? What did I tell you?
Huh? Yes, indeed. You're right.
I pointed out, bro. We always got to give it to somebody.
But Da Silva just came off the injury list, but was good enough to play 19 minutes, score 16 points, like the Pelicans, up 4 or 5 from downtown. Black went 3 or 4 from downtown.
He ain't even a 3-point shooter like that.
He really ain't, but it was falling against the Pels tonight. And of course, we play this team 3 times. That's the first, actually the second game here. No, I'm sorry, 2 times. They got the first one here. The next time we see this team will be April, early April, in the Smoothie King Center. We'll get an opportunity to get some revenge against the Orlando Magic. DC, the floor is yours, my brother, until we make that jump to the PPR preview.
Well, my man Jaden here say you got a magical button, brother, that you could press and just skip the whole rest of the season. You
A
can go
sim
the
button.
whole season.
Boy, I wish this was 2K, boy. I hit that sim button on
Yeah,
their ass real.
he telling me to tell you to hit it.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know it's a little daunting, family. It's tough being a supporter of the Pels at times. But we got a lot to look forward to in the future. So I get your optimism of wanting to go to the off season, man, Jaden. But we got to deal with what's in front of us. And what did I tell y'all? I said we could beat the Orlando Magic if we didn't just allow somebody to come off the bench and go perfect from a 3-point line. That's our sign, right? We always do that. And sure enough, we start off slow. We were in command of the game, and the Silver, the man you pointed out, man, when they took him off the bench, and he was getting wide open threes too, Q. Wide open. And
I
I'm
seen
like,
it, bro.
this thing statistically best 3-point shooter. Well, like, why are y'all not covering him? And then they had a play with Zion, where it was Anthony. He had to pick between Anthony Black or the Silver, and he kind of went with Anthony Black, and the Silver made it, and he's patting his chest and stuff. Like, it's on me. And then after that, they kind of started guarding him, right? But by then, the damage was done, man. From 3-point line, and they continued to attack downhill. As you seen, Desmond Bain drop 27. You got Anthony Black with 26. And Banchero, he played all right, but he was 9 for 10 from the free throw line. You know what I'm saying? Desmond Bain got that 8 times. So it's like, shit, they kind of set themselves up for victory there. But statistically, I thought the Pels statistically, individually, you had some solid performances. Like, obviously, you want to see a little more out of Zion, man. He's kind of capped at 14 shots. Trey obviously didn't get the memo, or he lost the memo because, like, why are you only shooting 15 shots? You've been shooting over 15. You're looking tremendous, man. We want to see the same thing, but I guess they only got so many shots to go around sometimes, right? Jordan Poole played good tonight, so some of those shots got to go to him. But Fierce, 16, 4 and 3, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, active hands all over the place. Very encouraged by him. I thought he played well, minus that missed layup and other few mistakes. He's a rookie, so it makes some defensive mistakes and stuff. But Derek Queen, man, 4 for 8 from the field, 3 rebounds. Come on, what you say, bro? You say either Troy Weaver or Dumas told you if you don't get double-digit rebounds, it's a crime. So you should be in jail. 3 rebounds. That ain't gonna get it, bro. You are a center. You played 28 minutes. Got to have more than 3 rebounds, right? And then he had a lot of attempts, some timely too, in high pressure or momentum situations where I thought he could have made it, man. And I don't know if his legs are weak. I don't know if he's a little worn down. Right? I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's fatigued, but it's just some of these finishes at the rim. I know he's capable of making. He's done it, and he misses. And every time he put both of his hands up like he signaling a field goal, the refs ain't gonna do nothing, bro. Just get back. You like the slowest person in the lineup, bro. You got to start running early. You can't just be throwing they ain't gonna get to you. You know what I'm saying? But I thought they played solid. Glad to see Jordan Poole come back on. Great Paolo minutes. They played good enough individually to win the game, but as a unit, man, when things mattered the most, couldn't put it all together. Just couldn't play intelligent basketball down the stretch and figure out how to get some of these good looks that they were getting earlier in the game. Kind of got away from what was working, and I don't think Coach did them any justice in helping them set things up. So these guys aren't the guys you can just let them play free form. I think that's what Borrego wants to do, kind of let them freestyle their way through it or figure it out on the fly and all of this. And okay, let's say you do that during. I think he should have a different perspective for the last 5 minutes of the game or so, man. Maybe you need to script that a little bit more and start setting up some plays, man, running some plays and getting more structure. Because that's always where the Pels look the worst to me. If they front running in the game, they can take it home if they don't do no knucklehead things. But when it start getting tight, man, they need somebody to hold their hand and tell them what to do. They're not gonna figure it out.
Yeah, that sounds eerily similar to what we heard Willie Green said back in the day, man. That ain't gonna cut it, man. Michael says all this losing the last 2 years has been crazy. Thank you, bro. Appreciate
The money
that.
out.
Super
Stay
chat.
cool. Nobody gets hurt. Take the money out. All of it. Come on. Wasting my time now. Come on. Come on. Stop stalling.
Yes, indeed, man.
Hold
It's
up.
crazy.
Appreciate you, Michael, for them 2 bombs again, and the losing that has been crazy. But I'm looking at the little sidebar conversation y'all having about Poole. Say, can we let Poole start so we might not go down to 10 to start the game? I don't think that would change anything. To me, Poole is in the same situation as Jeremiah Fear as far as decision making. If Poole is out there, like some of the same things that happened with Jeremiah will still happen. Obviously, he's a better player right now, but Poole makes a lot of mental errors, man. And they had a run and got back in the game when Poole was out there. So like I don't see that, family. My man Jay Carvello saying Fears needs to attack the bench. I get it. I wouldn't be mad at that, but my thing is we don't have a point guard. For real, like a complete point guard or somebody that can help control the tempo of the game. Derek Queen is the closest thing we have to that, another rookie. And I think he does a good job at that, but it's obviously not sustainable at this point right now, night to night, for 48 minutes. You can't depend on DQ to do that. He has some stretches during this game, although he has to, statistically, not a good night. I mean, but he had a whole quarter, man. That third quarter, DQ was cooking. He wasn't even scoring a lot. But I don't know. I think we need to get a point guard, period. And then, we could revisit that conversation, family. I get it. I get y'all frustration and want to switch it up, but I don't think Jordan Poole is doing anything different.
I mean, it's worth exploring, to be honest with you, because
Spears didn't play bad to me this game, really, with his decision. I mean,
uh,
it's that play that sticks out where he could have tied the game or got it close. He just dropped the ball right there.
no. What I'm saying, overall,
I guess if you want to point to that. So.
yeah, I'm saying overall, like he's gonna have to explore lineup changes regardless, because your team you got a 9-win team and you just hit 41 wins. I mean, you're gonna have to do something different. You're gonna have to switch up stuff and see how it works for you. And he's gonna have to try to figure this thing out. It's not up to the players to figure it out. If the coach don't know what to do, the team in trouble. He's supposed to have all the damn answers to be fine, trying to figure this thing out. What's really stellar, if you look at the numbers, Jeremiah Fears right now is averaging over 14 points a game, 3.6 rebounds, just over 3 assists on 44% shooting from the field. Poole's numbers, by contrast, 15.3, less than 2 rebounds, 3.4 assists, and 36% from the field. So
he's outplaying Poole right now.
He's outplaying them, but that's what I was saying about Jordan Poole. I know Poole is better than this. Poole can average 20 points a game for you. He really could. But if he's not dialed into the system, and the guy's a bucket. I mean, when he gets hot, I mean, he hit what 6 3-pointers tonight? How many 3-pointers he hit tonight, DC? He had like 6 of them things tonight.
Yeah, he was like 6 for 7, man. He was hot tonight.
He was hot. So he shot 75% from downtown tonight. He had like 6 3-pointers. So he's a bucket getter. He's a bucket getter for you. But the thing is,
I
like
think he.
for you to
Go
tell
ahead.
Jordan Poole to come off the bench, you got to make sure his
Behind the
minutes
rookie.
behind the rookie. Number one, if you're gonna ask him to, this is a championship guard that's 26 years old, right? This guy that got a championship ring. He was a key role player on a championship team. Gets traded away to the Washington's club. He was the top scorer there. Was the top guy there for the Washington team. You get him from them, bring him here. If you're gonna ask him to be in a reserve role and he a $30 million player that can average 20 a game for you, you're gonna have to make sure that you guarantee his minutes. You got to be able to guarantee he gets starter minutes, even though he's not starting, is the point. The problem is that I see a lot of times with this DC is that the Pelicans can score with you, but then the defense fail. Like for whatever reason, I don't care what it is, they can't seem to consistently communicate to not allow 3-point wide open shooting. It happens every night. It's a meme on the show now where at least one dude is going to be wide open and he's going to hit about 4 or 5 3-pointers. It happens every night. One dude provides extra scoring for
No, wait, Q. He not only gonna hit 4 or 5 3-pointers, he's gonna do them at like an 80 to 70% clip. You gotta put
something
that
way
in there.
above what he used.
You gotta put that in there.
Right, something way above what the dude usually would do. You got a man that just came off of being hurt and came in there and lit the Pels up. But anyway, what I'm saying is that James Borrego, it's not my job to figure this shit out, even though we have a good idea what's going on with the team. It's up to him to figure out the answers to stop this from happening. Because he has enough scoring. The dude has the scoring. He has defensive players that's on the team that they got to figure this out. And I don't think he's the coach of the team. He might this going to be a struggle fest all the way until the year ends. When you get a guy that has the answers and the voice to implement it, because to a great degree they like Borrego, but his message is still what he's saying is the same thing over and over again because he was the offensive message when we had Willie Green, milling about. So it's just you need something different. This whole staff needs to be pulled out of here. This whole staff of coaches that we have, I like Monroe, I like several other coaches, got respect for them, but their voice is nothing in there. You can't get these guys to consistently play defense. You can't get them the offensive rebound. You can't get them it's just a lot of simple stuff that you're supposed to know how to do that they don't consistently do. You're paying them enough, but we can't get them to get on the same page. And that's really frustrating because you have the talent. Everybody wants your damn players. I mean, it ain't like somebody call and say, well, Pelicans ain't got nothing nobody wants. Everybody wants your players. Everybody wants your damn players. So you have the talent. It's just you don't have the right guy with the right mentality that can line these guys up and say, I want you to do this. I want you to do this. I want you to do this when the game is at this point. Just organize the game. Break it down. If you got to sectionalize and break it to a point, say, we're going to do this. We're going to do whatever you got to do to organize it. Do it. But I don't think they have that ability. I think the voice is cold in that room. I think these guys are just going about the motions, collecting checks. And I think it's time to put all these guys out of their misery. At the end of the season, we fire all of these guys and wipe this slate clean and bring in somebody that can do the job, because these guys have had a number of years. These guys, Collins has been here for years. Borrego's been here for 3 years. These guys have been here for a while, and it's not working. Paying them for nothing to be mediocre, and it's just too much, man. We tired of it, and I'm tired of it my damn self. I'm tired of the smiley, jokey nature of this team. I'm sick of that, man. I'm sick of the smiley, jokey nature of this team. I'm tired of people not getting pissed off consistently, not just stay pissed off, not to get pissed off for one game and then go out there and maul the team. I'm talking about building on it. The team doesn't have that temperament. They do not have a dog mentality like, I know this, that, and the third, but we're going to fight our asses off. You're not going to get this win. I don't care if the referee's cheating. I don't care if this other guy doing this. We're going to fight you until we win this game. They don't have that mentality. They too soft physically. They too dumb defensively. No disrespect, but I'm tired of the dumb switches. I'm tired of the ineffective basketball. I'm tired of the low IQ basketball. These guys are making a lot of money to be out here and only collect 9 wins on the season. That's really pathetic, man. It's pathetic. And you have a $30 million player like Jordan Poole who hit 6 3-pointers tonight. You have several players that's in double digits, and you still lose. What was it by 10 points? You're still losing, and you had control of the game. Like I said, man, Borrego can miss me with all that positive bullshit, him giving credit to players, and they keep losing. This was a team you had every incentive to go in there and kick their teeth in. This team has been handling you. They've been beating on you for 7 to 8 straight years, DC. The Magic have been beating the Pelicans. For them to have like an 8 or 9 game winning streak, them people have been beating on you for years now. And you couldn't take that pride into the game and say, hey, man, we got to handle some damn business. This ain't about no smiling. This ain't about no plan. This about handling
I ain't never heard him get mad at the lack of rebound. We only had 26 rebounds tonight, man. I know a lot of coaches, when 26 rebounds, like that will piss them off, Q. You know what I'm saying? Like they go off about that, about you playing soft and not being aggressive, man. We've just succumbed to that being okay.
We all good. We good. We a family.
Oh, I talk to him. He's such a nice young man. I love coaching.
I'm done with that. No, I'm done. I'm done with all that. Miss me with all that nice crap. You be nice when we win in something.
We still got sprinkles of David Griffin around here.
Well, that's because, like we said, when you haven't cleaned out everything. You got all you did was chop off the top of the snake. You still got the snake's people in there. All you did was chop off the head of the dude late in the season. You still got his losing ass assistant coaches here. And that's what I'm saying. Most of the time, if guys were winners and they tired of losing, you'll see a firestorm of upsetness and aggravation from the head.
No. I'm looking at a picture right now on social media. Well, Zion and Paolo, where he dapped him off and Zion walking off, Zion looked pissed. He looked pissed and confused.
It'll disappear when you go home and eat a hamburger. It'll disappear.
Oh, come on. You see the man go home and eat a hamburger.
He's going to go ahead. It's going to go home and eat a veggie burger or whatever he is. He's going to go, and then it'll disappear. You just got to get him some comfort food, and he'll come back the next game smiling and all this kind of stuff. That shit don't impact, and it does not stick around long enough. We've been here. This is 7 years of Zion Williamson. You don't think we got a behavior pattern recognition on Zion Williamson? I mean, I know who Zion Williamson is. Y'all know who he is. This guy been here for 6 or 7 years now. It don't take but a couple years to figure out a pattern on players. I mean, pattern recognition is some real shit. It's real shit. We know who Zion Williamson is at this point. And we know what he's not. He's a player that has immense potential, but at some point, potential got to mean something. It's got to mean you got to cash it in for something. It don't make a difference for me to have the first comic ever made unless it means something to somebody else. They're building up, I can sell it to them. This dude, John got all the potential in the world. When is we going to be able to cash that in for something that's tangible? It's been 6, 7 years of Zion Williamson here. And all we get, now listen, the guy's playing now, and I'm just saying overall. We talking about overall, his whole, what is it, what I would call legacy as a Pelican. Let's just place it like that. His legacy as a Pelican. And it's not just Zion, even though Zion's the face of it because he's the franchise player that's making more money than any player in the building at 39, almost 40 million. But the reality, he's still an undeveloped player. He doesn't have a 3-point shot. He can't shoot a mid-range shot. And only points he can get unless he finishes over 2 to 3 guys consistently during games, which is, he does it, but it's at a cost of his body. He gets knocked on his ass 4 to 5 times a game. And eventually, that's going to cost him some money because he's going to end up missing a few games here or there because of the physicality of how he plays when it hadn't dawned on him yet that, hey, man, I can make shit easier for myself if I got a freaking mid-range shot. I'm just saying, bro. Some of this shit is elementary. It is not quantum physics. You know, we only going to go as far as our best players can take us. In order to do that, you got to have a coach that is smart enough to be able to use those best players to get in certain situations that get us success. For 6 to 7 years, this is what I've seen from Zion Williamson on the Pelican postgame report. I'm giving y'all my professional analysis. And at the other players, you know, like all these other guys that's hurt right now that people love, but they can't play consistently to help you, worth the damn. You see what I'm saying? We got all these players we love, but them guys play with an intensity when they're healthy, but they can't be there all the time. What good is having players that you can't count on all the time? They're always hurt. So at some point, you're going to have to say, hey, man, we got to do something else, because what we've been doing for the last 5 years is failure. And sitting up here waiting for prospects to pay off is not working for us. We have to do something different. So obvious, like I said, the Borrego thing, me and DC had a conversation. Remember, we had reports prior. We talked on PPR. I compared Borrego to Elvin Gentry. And you're like, hold on, yeah. And we talked, GC laughed at me at the time when I told him that prior to several shows ago before I said it on the stream.
Hey, I laughed at you because it was funny. I didn't laugh at you because I didn't believe it.
Let me finish. Yeah, I know that's what I was about to say. You laugh, you're like, yeah, that's true. It's just him without the gin. That's what you said. Without the verb, whatever.
No like spirits.
Right, without the spirits, right. But what I meant by that, the guy can coach up an offense, but he can't do shit with a defense. It's just what we've seen, and you do not have a coach on staff that can match what he's doing on offense. We can't get him to play defense. We can't get him to get offensive rebounds. We can't get him to dive on the floor consistently. We can't get him to lock in on players. If you got a guy that's just really balling, we got to get the ball out of his hands. It's points where you see him do it, and then it's just a lot of stuff. Like you don't see him pick him up at 90 feet, get in their face, pressurize them, do something different. You know what I'm saying? It's just too much lackadaisical, soft, non-physical basketball on the opposite end that's costing us in these games. People don't respect the Pelicans like that. Their game starts. Why you got people talking shit about them and all this kind of stuff. Zion is a joke. Hell, there's another damn story out with Zion dealing with some other woman right now. Nigga, where you got time for that right now? And you just getting healthy. I'm saying at the same time, bro, it's like, dog, what's wrong here? You got time for that, but you ain't got a mid-range shot? Dog, they paying you $39 million. You don't have a mid-range shot. All you want to do is finish at the rim over 3 players.
I mean, the best finisher in the league, Q.
Man, listen, dog, I'm just so tired of this, man.
The man was shooting floaters and he was shooting little middies and all type of shit today. Like I don't think we lost this game because of Zion. Just being
dog, listen, man.
He could have did more.
We didn't
lose this game because of Zion.
It's not the day, man. It's not nearsighted, bro. This ain't no nearsighted shit. I just said for the last 6 or 7 years, man. 6 or 7 years, this is the Zion age. When they drafted that man first overall, I'm saying from an aspect of lineage based on his time frame since he's been here. This ain't nothing new. He ain't lose for tonight. But I'm telling you, sooner or later, when all those fallings on his ass add up, you're gonna miss games down the line because of that. It happens every year. That's why he keeps getting hurt. I solved that riddle. I've been telling y'all that he's not getting hurt at the dinner table. He's not getting hurt in bed after he get up out of there with that BBL. He ain't getting hurt there. He getting hurt other places, like on the court when he gets knocked over and hit the ground hard because of him getting fouled at trying to lay the ball up or finish at the rim. I'm telling y'all, that's how he getting hurt. In the game, not in training camp or when he's practicing or whatever. Every now and then he might tweak a few things here or there, but that don't keep him out. I'm talking about the man, he getting hurt in the game. But overall is what I'm saying about the Zion thing, because we facing a timeline dilemma of what we're going to do moving forward. And it's also a money issue. The man making $39 million. So you're going to have to figure this thing out. We're going to have to figure this thing out, man. He say he don't want to leave. Of course he don't want to leave. Who going to pay him that? You know, when that contract ends or whatever happens with that contract, he ain't going to never make that kind of money no more. They're going to pay him based on what he been doing, which is playing here or there. And for the rest of the team that is built for Zion, because this whole shit built around the man, because he the franchise keystone. Y'all know that I've always been a big Zion guy, but at some point we got to break out of the malaise, man. The damn team 9-32. They're 9-32. And they're still congratulating these players. He did a good job today. He did this. Man, I don't want to hear that. We're 9-32, okay? We're 9-32. 9-32. And losing games to teams we should beat. Where's the pride? Where's the intelligence? Where's the respect? Where's the dedication? Where's the integrity? Where's all of these things that's supposed to mean something to these guys, and they're making tens of millions of dollars to play a sport that a child sport, but we can't get no consistency from them on both ends of the floor, and that's all they do. It's not like they don't go and drive a dump truck or go work at the airport. All they do is play basketball, and this is the best you can do. All I'm saying, man, sooner or later, people got to understand that this shit been going on for years, man. This ain't nothing new. They've gone on for years. And at some point, you're going to have to change up all of this stuff. You're going to have to change it up and switch up the lineups. You got to do something different. Joe Dumars, it's his first year here. He made good moves, bringing Sadiq Bey. I still believe in Jordan Poole. I believe Jordan Poole in consistent numbers can get you 20 points at least a game. I love Jeremiah Fears and Poole. I think those were, in Queen. That was great. Peavy, awesome. Getting Sadiq Bey, awesome. Love that move. The word's still out on Kayvon Looney. When he plays, he do a hell of a job passing the ball, offensive rebounding, doing that kind of thing. Smart player. We don't use him enough. They ain't figured out the rotations yet. But all this other stuff that we got going on, man, listen, man. The man brought in a few players here. You can see what the problem is. In many respects, they have no vision. That's on head coaching. Willie Green stayed for too long. He got his coaches here. These guys here, he picked them. They don't push Willie Green to do nothing. They don't push themselves to be nothing. People don't have no damn pride. If you cool and they smile and we gonna stay positive. No. You supposed to be upset and pissed off. Staying positive in a situation where you losing like this is not a good thing. Because all it do is create a environment of complacency. No. We're getting rid of all of you bum ass coaches. I'm sorry. If y'all can't build a culture of winning in the city of New Orleans, y'all got to go, bro. Y'all ain't collected enough money off of us already. It's time for y'all to go, man. Go steal money from somebody else, man. Go steal it from the Hornets. Go steal it from the Kings. Go steal it from the Cavs. Go and steal your money from them. But all this other stuff, all these guys got to go, man. They got to go because they don't have what it takes to win. We want to win a championship down here. You're not going to get there this way. You're not going to get there with no damn Borrego and just a more modern and well-spoken version of Elvin Gentry, a younger version of L Gentry. All offense, no defense. Or what's the guy from Phoenix, DC, that was an assistant on this team? What's his name?
Mike D'Antoni, man.
D'Antoni, there you go. Ain't nothing but D'Antoni.
He's still on the payroll, huh?
No, he's not on the payroll.
He ain't advisor no more.
Anyway, dog, let me pivot, bro. Let me pivot to this, man.
Paolo, for your sermon, man.
These things,
y'all please put the money in the collection plate. You know,
hey, bro,
we try to set up for the building fund of getting January out of here.
Deny he's already gonna be gone at the end. No, I'm saying what the family members know, man. This is the real spill you're not gonna hear. You know, you ain't gonna hear the Pelican people tell you, hey, this type of stuff. They're not gonna do that. You're not gonna hear Antonio Daniels, who got a lot of great game. You ain't gonna hear him talk like this because he's an employee for them people.
Nah, you can't. But I agree with a lot of your points, man. But this is my only thing. I don't know. I can see what Zion is. I can see what he ain't. He's not a player that you what do you call him now? Everybody uses the 1B, right? He's not a 1A, right? He's not a player you build your team around and you just ride into success. He's almost like somebody that you have to maximize his skill set, and you got to coach him up and tell him certain things to do and put him in certain situations where he needs to take those type of shots. I just don't think we have the type of coaching staff to be able to do that. But I guarantee you, Zion goes to a competent organization, bro. He'll be like, see, everybody in the Pelicans play good. Why you ain't do that when he was here? That's all. Everybody, it's going to be that all over again. If
Let them have them.
you hear people talk with the Brandon Ingram shit right now, and they're like, oh, see, it wasn't Brandon Ingram. It picked Zion over Brandon Ingram. It should have kept Brandon. It wasn't Brandon Ingram. Bro,
But that's sufficient for any coach, though, DC.
yeah, but my whole point is this type of thinking, as far as like, well, let's just get the player out of here. Hurry up and trade Zion. I just said that as if they're the problem. The problem is the structure and foundation of the organization and the coaching and everything we put there. We could luck up and get another superstar, and we'll still do the same damn shit. It ain't the players. So you rush to get them out of here, and it's hard enough for us to get them. We got to luck up in the draft and get them, or we got to maybe Derek Queen, maybe one. I mean, I know he's going to be really good. I don't know if he's going to be great yet, but maybe he is, right? But if we keep doing what we've done, it'll still be the same song and dance, and we'll be right here 7 years from now saying, man, we got to get Derek Queen out of here. His game ain't developed one bit. It's organization and coaching, bro. Like, you have to have a certain culture around these dudes.
Yeah, we talked about that, though, DC.
Like, there's very few Michael Jordans and Kobe Bryants. And even if you look into those guys, and they might tell you it was all these coaches that gave them that type of desire and discipline. But we always look at them like they do it themselves. And
that's
why you have to do that. But I'm just saying, like, coming into the league, man, you don't know what to expect. You're being shaped and molded by this organization. You are a product of your environment too. Not to take any pressure off what he should or not be, or should or shouldn't be doing. Not take any accountability from him. But I'm just saying this. We've seen the same thing. The only other player we had of a superstar level that it didn't go that way, where you could say Chris Paul, right? And he wanted out of here. So Anthony Davis, still the same thing, man. Same thing. Mismanaged, misused. The man was telling you he ain't won't be no goddamn center. You're forcing him to play center. And just the whole thing has always been fucked up. And we always look at it like it's the players. Before Zion, Brandon Ingram was the whipping boy because he don't shoot threes and do this or that. And not that he didn't have a problem shooting threes. He needed to shoot more threes. They need to do all of these things. It's not that. But it's the coaching staff holding them accountable and putting them in situations to be able to successfully do these things, which never happens. So you're not going to see the player go out there and, I'm going to just start shooting mid-ranges. Like, there's no fucking thought, no strategy. And I can't really blame somebody for sticking to what they know if they're not being given a game plan or a strategy how to go to that next level, to do the next things. Yeah, there's plenty of things he can be doing on his own. And I'm sure if he was doing a lot of things on his own, it probably would be better, because maybe our organization would have at least some competence to try to help fill in the gaps to where he's not reaching if he was doing all of these things on his own. But if he's not, you see organizations like Miami, they're not tolerating this shit. They're going to put your ass on a diet. They're going to take cookies off the plane like they did LeBron. They going to do some shit to make it hard for you and hold you accountable. And that's what great organizations do. And that is what makes a lot of players go to that next level, because they have people around them that don't accept they fuck shit. So if they come in there, you can just do whatever you want to do.
It's culture.
If you want to be great, right, as a player, and you go into a situation where they let you do whatever you want to do, if you truly want to be great, you're not going to want to be a part of that organization.
Well, if you truly want to be
they're
great,
not going to hold you accountable.
if you go into an organization, you're a player that they pick. A lot of times, you're coming from an organization, whether it's a college or anything, where you had a high degree of accountability that you were subscribed to. You know what accountability looks like. So if you're a player that's picked number one and they see you as obviously a franchise changing player that's coming in, you're going to come in with the mentality to be great. And they're going to provide you with access to certain players. And he had access to many different players. The point is, somewhere along the 6 or 7 years Zion Williamson has been here, and it's not a Zion Williamson centric discussion. This is the fact that the Pelicans, you're right, that is culpability on both sides. I don't blame one side more than the other. Zion is a professional. When he came into the league, he had to get it. He should have hadn't gotten his body where he has.
Hold on, wait. I got to stop you. One second, just on that. I just want to kind of ask a question a little bit. You say Zion's professional. He came into the league.
He came into the league.
When he came into the league, did we have anybody to help him get his body right? Because we didn't even get a physical therapist till he was like in his 4th year.
I'm saying they had people here. They had a training staff here. They had people that was working. They wasn't the best in the world, but they did have a training staff, trainers here, ways he can work on his body to get stronger. When they brought him here, they did have people here. They weren't the best in the world, but what I'm saying is you had access to resources where you should have improved. So when we see all the other stuff, and
I don't agree. I don't agree, man.
That's your opinion.
I don't agree for this reason though. Like it ain't got nothing to do with Zion with me with this conversation. I hear somebody say I'm a hard Zion fan.
No,
it's the fact that every player that has come through here, man. Every player that comes through the Pelican organization that has some talent, they leave and they fucking get better.
Okay,
why?
All right. Okay.
You're obviously doing something wrong as a foundation. It ain't all the players.
It ain't all on the foundation.
They're accountable, but
it's not only a foundation thing, man. That's on both.
We can't get injuries right. We can't get development right. We can't get nothing right.
And most of these other players that got the kind of money that these guys got coming in as a star have their own doctors. They got people that they go to get second opinions. They know how they hire their own trainers outside of the organization's trainers. So if it's money and if it's accountability, they have access to it. It is mindset. The Pelicans wasn't the best team in the NBA in terms of how they operated from a health standpoint. They were by far a team that was very normal or just below normal on how they handle a lot of stuff. But they did provide resources for these players. So the point is, it's not just the organization. It's both of them. Zion or any other player that comes here, they have access, they gain wealth, they have access to the resources of the team, the health staffs, and all that so they can work on getting stronger and bigger and faster. They work on their shooting. Everybody knows if he watched the game and he named some of his favorite players, the majority of the players he named have a mid-range game. So it ain't about him not knowing. It's about him doing. It's the same with both sides. You have to be able to execute on both sides. There are standards to this. And like I said, you're right. I've been blasting down on the Pelicans general managers before Joe Dumars got here because there were jokes. They didn't know what they was doing. They didn't have a vision. They didn't know what they was just using the team to funnel money, to make money. That's what they were doing. Just like they want to do now. She wants to make as much money as she can with these arena deals. She followed the governor up to New York to have a conversation with Goodell about landing the Super Bowl. They get a big cut of that money. And about getting the arena deal done with the governor of the state of Louisiana so she can keep making more money so they can tap into more of the state and the Fed renovated money so they can keep doing that. In the end, and what I'm saying is there is a reason why how things flow and work. The Pelicans overall as an organization are one of these organizations that do stuff by a process of elimination. They so stupid. They do everything by failing. And this is how we labeled it out. They went from everything for the last 7 to 8 years. We've been consistently saying what's wrong with this team. And they scratch one thing out at a time. They go from this and they got a better VP. Did this. They scratch this guy, scratch this guy. This shit ain't hard. All you have to do is hire from teams that are handling business. That's the bottom line. If you got a team like San Antonio, a team like OKC, a team like Miami, a team like Boston, And they are some kind of way, they have the blueprint on how to sustain success, how to make sure their players play so they keep winning. You pull from them the assistant guy from him, put him in the helm, do this, do that. And that's how they do it. They only hired Joe because Joe is a guy from the state of Louisiana that some kind of way clicked into the circle. It's the right hire because he brings the intelligence of how to change your organization because he wanted Chip as an administrator. None of them other guys did it. Griffin did it, but that was because LeBron was telling him what to do. So that shit don't count. So when you bring him here, there is there's no path to a championship unless you get the proper coach. That's why I'm not looking at too many trades probably going to happen around the 5th, because you're making trades without a coach. It's kind of stupid. You got to have the right guy there to be able to communicate with which players he wants. So, I mean, there is Jose is the only one that is relevance that's on a 1-year deal that you either sign before the offseason or you trade before the trade deadline. You look at, but outside, like I said, for all this other stuff, they're in a difficult bind because they're stuck with Borrego for the year. They're not going to fire Borrego and bring anybody right now. They're going to ride with Borrego for the rest of the year, and it'll just be a year where you see what certain players could do. But in the end, accountability falls on everybody, team and players. It does not benefit us to have players that can't play when we need them. It doesn't benefit. I don't care how great they are when they play. It doesn't benefit the team to have players that don't play when you need them. We're 9 in, what is it again? 9 and I keep forgetting because it's stupid. We're 9 and 32 in almost middle of January. We're 9 and 32. And they just blew an opportunity to get the 10th win of the season. Like they blew several attempts prior. So at some point, if you're the coach, you got to be like, man, I got to do something to galvanize and spark the team because your damn words ain't doing it. Your coaching ain't doing it. So like I said, at the end of the day, man, it simply is. Accountability falls on both sides of the spectrum. When you paying a man $39 million or you paying him $20 million or you paying whatever you paying these guys, you have to be able to get them in position to make sure they have success and handle their business. And if they don't, you got to get them on the body here and get players that do. We cannot be loyal to players that are not committed to winning, that's not committed to winning on the court and off the court. And when I mean off the court, I mean getting your shit together physically so you can meet the demands and rigors of an NBA full season. All you do is play basketball. All you do is train and lift weights and study film and practice. What else you doing? They paying you to do that.
See,
so I mean,
I agree
that's
with you.
all it is, man. I'm gonna give you the last word, bro, and then I'm getting on to the preview.
We still got to do that. We got to do a preview. I agree with you, bro. But my only point in disagreeing with my previous take is, if you look at any of those players that do those things, right? I don't think it's a coincidence that they have like a good organization behind them. Well, that's the culture. It's either that or you have anomalies like Giannis, Dame, where they're in these cities where it's like absolutely no distractions. There ain't nothing else to do but play basketball in Milwaukee, right? Fuck you going to get into a cold ass Milwaukee and Portland. Well, Portland got a little bit more to do. But you have some players that come like that. But you see a lot of greats, man, are players that were on the trajectory to be great where it took work. You know, you hit a who we would want the comp for Zion to be, and Charles Barkley. You hear his story, and that's exactly what's probably going to happen with him. Well, maybe he ain't going to reach Charles Barkley level because his prime, he right about hitting it. But Zion's going to go somewhere else and do very well, and everybody going to be wondering why they couldn't get it together here. But before that happened, because, you know, we pals all the way, man. I ain't player hopping. Once you leave, you leave. That's it. Wish you the best. But before that happened, man, we need to get our shit together and our standards of what we allow and don't allow. And you seeing right now, real time, with Zion, certain stuff they ain't allowing him to do, as far as, you know, all that off the court issues and all that then died down. just by somebody holding them accountable. He knew Joe Dumars ain't playing that shit with him, right? So you got that part of it under control. Now we need to get the on-court part of it under control, not for Zion, but just for the whole team, man. We need to have accountability here. We need to have anger when things aren't going correct, and things need to be corrected. And you need to have rewards and punishments. I think they have rewards. They get a lot of praise. I don't know if we get enough punishments. But let's go to the
DC, let me ask you. I'm gonna ask you this quick question, bro, because this just came across my mind, and I want the faithful to answer this question in the chat and be honest. Be absolutely honest about this. Now, my question to you is: would Zion Williamson be 100% fit in NBA shape motivated by himself? Would he take that upon himself and do it because it's in him to do it because he is a professional? Or is it motivated? It's very simple, but maybe y'all got a different point of view on it. By his contract, he's only fit by contract as opposed to being fit because of your.
I'm gonna be real with you, Q. And watching Zion, and I remember looking at him the first time I seen him when I saw all the high school stuff blow up. Like I was, he made me watch college basketball seriously again, right? And looking at Zion and how he came up in a household with two coaches, because he's coached by his mom and his step-pops, right?
Yeah, I remember.
And then he went to Duke, and he got his high school coach on top of the two other coaches, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Then you go to Duke, and you're coached by one of the greatest coaches of all time, college basketball, and Krzyzewski. And he didn't coach the USA team. He didn't see all of the great players, and he giving Zion game, right? And then he get drafted and come to Alvin Gentry. And we get what we get. So I would say it's 100% outside motivation to me for him to stay fit and in shape. I don't think that's his focus. He a guy, he feel like he can just play basketball. I ain't gonna say he wouldn't try to be in shape, but he would be in shape from basketball, from just playing basketball and nothing else, if he wasn't forced by outside sources. So just to answer your question correctly, I say contract. And it's not in him like that because I don't think he ever thought about weight. Like he's just a kid. He's still kind of innocent in some ways like that, like a kid type mind as far as how he approached the game. And when you hear him talking, like he just play basketball and he want to play basketball. He don't want to do the stretching. He don't want to do all that other shit. Got to be pulled out of him by coaching and organization.
Yeah, a lot of people agree with you, DC. Slim, Tasha, Vanto says the same thing. Contract.
I do think he loved the game, though. Remember I asked you that question? The more I look at it, I think he loved the game. I don't know if he loved it enough to try to want to be one of the greatest basketball players ever. I don't believe that.
But that's all I care about, DC, is the fact that if you take you first overall and they make this ain't just some role player. This man is a franchise.
That's why I don't be want to trade him. Q. I want him
like $40 million.
Man, I want us to get something for him. Fuck that Trey Young shit, man. That's some bullshit. Trey Young, 25 career guy, you give him up for nothing. That's what we're gonna have to do with Zion.
No.
I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with that standpoint.
No. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying, bro.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying is I'm not saying trade Zion Williamson because that's something that Joe Dumars obviously is not going to do right now, according to Chris Haynes' reports that he listed four or five Pelicans, right? And Zion is not one of them. So Sadiq Bey is not one he listed. That's on the outside. Poole is one of those guys on the outside. Jose Alvarado is one of those guys. We know DeJounte Murray obviously is one of those guys. So we'll see how it all folds down the line. But what I'm saying is, I would be interested. My question on whether to kind of go beyond this year with Zion Williamson will be based on the hire of the next head coach. That's what I'm talking about. Like right now, no Borrego obviously is not the guy. He's from the Willie Green side of things, but the next head coach, I want to see who that is before I say anything about what we should do with Zion Williamson going forward. Because there are coaches out there that we know that knows what to do with Zion Williamson, with Derek Queen, with Fairs, and all those guys in a role which will work for this team. And the same temperament. They got guys out there that know what to do with these players. They have the IQ and the moxie and the motivation to pull it off. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to wait for that moment to see who the head coach is to see which direction we go with the team. Because of the right guy, DC, we'll be a firebrand. Shout out to Black Preacher Man says, I go back to he said the privateers. I can say ever since Benson took over the basketball team in New Orleans, they have been, he says, New Orleans, they have been bad and not intelligent. Thank you, Black Preacher Man. Appreciate you on that one, my brother.
The money out. Stay cool. Nobody gets hurt. Take the money out. All of it. Come on. Wasting my time now. Come on. Stop stalling.
All right. Shout out to our super chatters, man. We're going to get ready to pivot into the preview area of the show. PPR preview. Pelicans 9-32 face the Denver Nuggets. Now, this is going to be back in the Smoothie King Center. This is, I think it's a Monday matchup, if I'm not mistaken, on the 13th. Yeah. So this will be a 7 p.m. tip-off time in the Smoothie King Center. The Pelicans are 6-17 at home. So they won 6 of their 9 wins at home. They welcome in a Denver Nugget team that are leading them right now. Is one more game. This is the final of the games, by the way, that we will match up with the Denver Nuggets, fam. After this, this is it. Now the Nuggets beat us 122-88 back in what was it, November? I think it was late August. I want to say not August, September. No, October. I'm sorry, it was October. I forgot the date, but it's late October. They hammered us big time, and then they barely beat the Pelicans on the 19th of November. So this is the final of the matchups that we have with the Nuggets, and the Pelicans have an opportunity to take care of business here. Now, in terms of the guys that's supposed to be coming back, we thought Sadiq Bey, Alvarado, Herb Jones will be ready for this matchup this afternoon. They have estimated timelines for that date. Sadiq Bey dealing with a hip issue, Jose with an oblique, and of course Herb Jones with that pesky ankle. This is they're saying that these guys are supposed to be back on the 13th, which would be a good time to get these guys back for a team that we really need to see. Now Jamal Murray, their point guard, is dealing with an ankle situation. Aaron Gordon is dealing with a hamstring issue. Christian Brown, also one of their shooters, is dealing with an ankle issue. So they're anticipating him and Spencer Jones are game time decisions for the matchup against the Pelicans. So just like we've seen the Silva and some of these guys come back for the Pels, they're estimating that Murray, Gordon, and Brown will be back in time for the Pelicans on Monday. And of course, just to let you know, the always the case. The Nuggets are 2-3 over the last 5 games. Pelicans obviously 1-4. Back on our losing stuff after knocking off the Wizards. Nuggets are 25-13 team. They're giving the matchup indicator is giving the matchup to the Nuggets by 53%. Joker is anticipated. I think the Joker is listed as out for the next. They're saying out for a number of weeks, for at least another.
Yeah, they say like 4 to 6. Huh?
Well, it's I think he's out further than that, DC. The injury reports showing him, because I think they're saying he's supposed to be out for another week or so. He had that hyperextended situation that happened with his leg. He had an hyperextended left knee is what happened. So that was reported 12 days ago, almost 2 weeks ago. It reported that he hyperextended that. So they expected him to be out for at least another couple of weeks. So that's a interesting part not having a Joker because he's big. He's the top scorer, top rebounder, and top assist. Right now, he's averaging a triple-double. 30 points a game, 12 rebounds, 11 assists. That's crazy for the season. But anyway, let's look at the individual statistics right here, DC. You look at the rank, 123.1, best in the NBA, Pelicans at 21st. You see the points per game, 117.8, 22nd, Pelicans 122.3, 28. The field goal percentage, they shoot over 50%, number one in the NBA. The Pelicans is 22nd.
That's the average. So that means they have games where they done shot 70% and shit. That's crazy.
Over 50% shooting from the field on the season is just crazy.
That's nuts, bro. That's nuts.
That's crazy, bro. And this is a team that had a championship coach, got rid of the guy at DC, and brought in another guy, and they still doing all this stuff. So it's just amazing about a system. And when you got
them jokers, something else, man.
I'm telling you. And then of course you look at the 3-pointers made. They're 10th in the NBA. The Pelicans are 28. They shoot 14 3-pointers. Make 14 3-pointers. They shoot 35 a game, which is 22nd. Pelicans shoot 32 of them a game, 26. They make 14 of them.
Don't remind us of that, Vaughn.
Okay, so I'm just saying that's that you probably gonna mention.
My man Vaughn put up. He said the Pelicans shot 60% today. They still lost. Boy, y'all cold, bro.
Rebounds here. Pelicans 19 in NBA rebounds. The Nuggets are 22nd, and then of course you see some assists. The top 6 team in the NBA, 29 assists per game, 6 in the NBA. The Pelicans are 25 and assists in the game. You see the turnovers, 13th in the game, third in the NBA in terms of turnovers per game, 13.3 versus Pelicans 15, which is 16th in the NBA. You look at the steals per game, not as much. Pelicans are dominating in that aspect, getting 9 a game versus 7 by the Nuggets, and the blocks.
Wow, we actually a better rebounding team. That is insane. I would have never thought
you got to put it all together, my brother. That's the whole bottom line. You got to put it all together. Anyway, let me show you guys some of the depth chart right here from this team, from a statistic.
Who's the amazing comeback player from injury? Who coming back Tuesday?
I named a bunch of them, DC, that's supposed to be coming back. As a matter of fact, let me hit you with the depth chart. You tell me. Here it is right here. Go to the depth chart.
Jamal Murray definitely coming. He ain't going to miss an opportunity to get an easy 30-point game.
How about Christian Brown?
He might
he might be one. He be shooting them, Aaron. So I mean, it's a bunch of these guys, but they're supposed to be back for the Pelicans. Murray,
we get to look at Deron Holmes, Q. Remember that? Right. We liked him, man, last year.
Yeah, Deron.
Check out Deron, man.
Well, he right now averaging.
I mean, I can't go off his averages. The Joker got hurt, so he just getting a shot.
Right.
And JV ain't hurt him, so JV was soaking up all them minutes. He wasn't playing.
No, JV is out. JV out.
When he got hurt?
10 days ago. He was.
So Deron just stopped playing for real, bro. When Joker got hurt and JV went down.
All right, but these are the guys. Now, like I say, all these.
No, you laughing at that man. He might have a damn double against us. Shit.
Well, you got Zinaji there. You have a bunch of other guys: Bruce Brown, Tim Hardaway Jr. So they do have players, and they play well. Julian Strother is another guy that's a Pelican.
It's gonna be Bruce Brown to hit like 4 3-pointers was.
I say it's Christian Brown. I'm gonna just be honest with you.
Christian Brown, that's gonna be the 3-point shooter.
It's gonna be him or Jones. That's what I got. But anyway, this is the depth chart.
Tim Hardaway probably could do it too.
Yeah. So I mean, let's break it down, man. What happens in the matchup, man? Is this a win or a loss for the Pelicans at home in the Smoothie King Center? Can we bounce back? Can the angry picture of Zion that you showed up there doesn't mean anything?
Angry and confused.
Okay, angry and confused picture of Zion.
Because he probably wondering how the hell we lost. I don't know. It was like a point in the third quarter, like you just couldn't. I just knew we had won that game, and I was like, man, maybe we could beat Denver. Start thinking that old dumb bullshit, and then it just all fell apart. I think Zion felt the same way.
Listen, DC. All I can tell you, man, is I think it's a loss, dog. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say it's a loss.
Man,
I'm gonna say it's a loss, DC.
I think we can win under one
Ye-
stipulation.
Okay, what's the stipulation? Everybody don't play.
Is Herb Jones coming back? Herb or Sadiq come back? I think we can win.
Without the Joker. You don't have the Joker.
They don't have a Joker. I'm anticipating Jamal Murray playing though for sure.
Jamal Murray is going to play.
Right.
Aaron Gordon is a player now. I know Holmes is a young player there, but the Pelicans.
No Herb, and we going what we went with today. I think this is ultimately a more under control, strategic, intelligent team than the one we played today. So we need something else than what we had today. You can't just expect them to perform better. We need another player to be able to
DC, you might get, according to the list.
and if Jose come back, he don't come. That ain't gonna do it.
That's that you I would say more
I
than
think that's what you
likely
about to say.
you might get Sadiq back. Jose more than likely will come back. You might get Sadiq back. I don't know what's going on with Herb and his ankle. That's been a reoccurring thing. You see what I'm saying? But most people, when you look at the lineup and say, okay, they're without the Joker, because the Joker is one of the main issues with the Pelicans. You know, he's the main thing for most teams. So without them having their centerpiece, this should be a win for the Pelicans. You know, having all, you know, a great majority of their talent there, being that it's in the Smoothie King Center, being that they won 6 of 9 games, in the 6 of their 9 wins in the Smoothie King Center, this should be a win for a team that, like it showed you, they just getting Jamal Murray, Braun, Spencer, and Aaron Gordon back from injury. There should be some rust factor for those guys, and the Pelicans should beat this team without the Joker. Bottom line. But does it change your perception if they don't?
If no,
No.
no, it doesn't.
Okay, it doesn't change. So, like I said, but this should be a win, man. It should be without the Joker. I just don't. I'm sorry, I just don't believe in them, man. They're not playing with what I feel that they need to do to win, and it can't just be emotional. It just can't be a thing where you just prop up and just get emotional for one game. It has to be something that you can sustain, that you can build on. It has to be a scheme attached to it. It has to be some logical process that can withstand when emotions subside. It has to be something based on logic. Pelicans don't operate that way. They totally don't. Usually the emotion fuels the logic, meaning that you'll build something, then emotionally the energy flows through it and it becomes alive. But building something off of how the Pelicans, they seem like an emotional driven team. They're up and down on most nights when that comes on. It's just hard to to do anything that means anything when you play like that. So I mean, I'm gonna have to pick them to lose, DC, without the Joker and all, with Murray and all them other guys coming back off injury, because they haven't showed me enough, except the fact that they only play 3/4 a night. I picked them to beat the Wizards because the Wizards, to me, they were a team missing. CJ got traded out, so they didn't have access to Trey Young there. So everything kind of changed a bit. So, I mean, I picked them to beat them. I knew they would beat the Wizards, but the Nuggets, they should beat the Nuggets, but I'm saying no, man. I'm going to just leave it at that. Y'all put in the
I ain't mad at you, man. You're looking at a team that won championships, has been a perennial playoff contender. And all of these players on that roster, they've all been in high pressure situations. They're not a dumb team, and it's just typically not the type of teams that the Pelicans beat. We would have to get a substantial lead and basically not have to deal with that pressure situation, down the stretch. And I don't think Denver is the type of team that allows us to do that. It would almost have to be a blowout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Herb, I think, gives us a chance because defensively, I see every team that we play, he does make the team take a slight notch down against us, man. What he does defensively, I think it's the real deal, man. We do look better defensively when her plays. So anything short of him suiting up, I think Sadiq could give us that firepower. But anything short of them suiting up, I don't think we got a chance. So I have to say it's another L because I don't believe they're gonna play because I don't know what's wrong with them and I don't know the timetables. I don't even really know what's wrong with them for real. Came back for one game and then he was like he missed like 3 right after the one game.
You talking about hurt?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look it up, DC. Yeah, but he been in and out of the lineup so much, man. I've been like, dog. And that prior to him coming back, prior to him being in and out of the lineup recently, when he sat for a long time early in the year and the year before that, when he was in and out of the lineup the year before that. So it's been trending on the bad side in terms of going in the wrong direction in terms of his availability. Doesn't help us at all when he in that regard. But the next 3 games, man. I'm looking at
this a home game too.
Say again.
It's a home game for us.
This is a home game.
Oh, man,
this is a home game. This should be a win.
Man, that's gonna be sad.
It should be a win. You don't have the Joker. You're getting Murray, Gordon, Braun, and Spencer back from injury. It's going to be a rust factor. They're getting these guys back. It should be a win for the Pelicans. It should be a win because you'll get Jose or if not Sadiq, a combination of them guys back for the matchup. Should be a W. It should be. It's just you can't pick them because they just so half-assed, man. These guys can't close the games. And then you look at the schedule for the Denver Nuggets over their last 10 games or since, the Joker left, they're still winning games. Some of the teams they're losing to are pretty good teams. Like they lost to Orlando back in late December by 1 point. They got blew out by Miami on the 29th. They went to Toronto, beat Toronto 106-103. They lost to Cleveland 113-108. They lost to Brooklyn 117-115. They beat Philadelphia in overtime 125-124. They beat Boston at Boston. They beat Philly and Boston in their buildings. They beat them at away. What I'm saying is 125-124 in overtime over Philly. They beat Boston in their building 114-110. And then they this past Friday they lost to Atlanta. They got handled by Atlanta. But what it's showing you is in some of these games they're actually competitive, which they're not an easy out, is what I'm saying. So they still are capable of punishing you and playing through some of these other players that's going to be there. They still have some real talented players there. They still got defensive-minded players. They still have, regardless, they'll get Murray back, Braun, Spencer, Gordon. They still have Tim Hardaway Jr. They still have Bruce Brown playing there. They'll still have Julian Strother. And if they have to use bigs like Darian Holmes II or Zeke Naji, they'll put them in there to slow the Pelicans down, and they're still a well-coached team. So, like I said, all indications point to the Pelicans shouldn't be able to win the game. They really do. And even the matchup indicator gives a slight advantage to Denver. But at the same time, man, who amongst you can say that the Pelicans going to win this game? Who amongst you? So, all right, here go one right here. Eastside says Q is right. Pelicans doesn't play with any urgency, aggression, passion, toughness. It's the strangest organization culture I've ever seen. Yeah, it's horrible, man. We've been saying this for a while. Just imagine just talking about it after every game for over a decade. For what? A decade, DC? A decade plus?
Yeah, man.
You can understand my frustration with it. But go ahead, bro. I'm gonna give you the floor. We're gonna close out, man.
Yeah, well, not really looking forward to Tuesday's game, especially after what I've seen today. But maybe things will change. Just looking to see the Pels. I don't understand why they can't have that same level of just intensity and just want to. all game, man. It just seems like it comes and goes and ebbs and flows. We're almost a team of just like we have to feel the energy. We don't bring the energy. We pick up on whatever's there and just kind of vibe off of that. Um, we got to find a way to stop getting the slow starts too. They always seem to, like this game, it's like 0 to 10, or it might have been like 2 to 14 before they started getting it going. They did in the quarter 26 to 26, so it's there, but it's just they gotta find a bread and butter, man. Something that works when teams go on these runs and things start to look inevitable, like the Pels are gonna lose, and we just don't do anything. It just pretty much goes that way. It's like we don't have an answer for what's going on ever, man. That's gotta stop, regardless if Borrego's coach, new coach, if Willie Green was the coach, man. Sometimes it's just the players just going all out, leaving it all on the line, man. We talked about Zion tonight, rightfully so, with some of it. But I mean, I see the same thing with a lot of guys, on the roster, man. I don't know if that is just contagious or if, pointing out things with him is what's going on with everybody else. The coaching staff is stale. Maybe that's what it is, because I can only imagine playing on a team and my coach is telling me some shit I don't believe in. Like, how can you go out there with energy, intensity, and effort and do that to the fullest? But fuck, if you ain't gonna do what he wants you to do something to the fullest, man. We got to fight. Willie Green ain't here no more, but we do have to fight. It's almost like we don't care whether we win or lose. And that's the things that, make it just hard to watch. Although this team has a lot of exciting moments, they do some very, very difficult things well at times. And the level of difficulty is extremely high for some of these things they're capable of doing, and then they just can't do the small, simple things. It's head scratching. So I'm looking forward to moving past that. Like I said prior to this game, I want to see them just do the simple things. I do see improvement in our rookies, but they're rookies, so they're going to make mistakes. And the more that we just heavily rely on them to try to take us home, I don't think that does us any good. I'm curious to see where our draft pick will be. Maybe we look different at this. I don't know if Joe Dumars has some insider information on this draft pick being maybe the 5th pick or something. So they really don't care about winning and losing for real. And we're just trying to get Queen and Fears in the most, I guess, tough, difficult positions that we can put them in so that they can grow. Because that's kind of what it looks like at times, man, to me, especially for Queen, man. They really leaning into him and making him a focal point of things. Down the stretch, I think we could use that to our advantage with him, but not so much with Fears. Fears, you would have to play him by ear, whether he closes out games or not. And I think if we serious about winning, we need to make sure Trey and Zion get the right amount of shots, man. Just watch Trey go on the heater. About 3 or 4 games, he's just playing tremendous. And at least 2 or 3 of those games, he took 20-plus shots. To come out tonight, take 15 shots when I thought he was pretty efficient tonight. Like, if we want to win, Trey Murphy has to shoot the ball at least 20 times, and Zion got to shoot it at least 18 times. That got to be the formula. You got to give Zion 18 shots. Trey got to have 20 plus. And that's all I got to say about that, man. Hopefully Tuesday the Pels can prove us wrong. But after watching what I've seen today, because this is yet another game that we've let get away that we had, and it looks very reminiscent of everything I've always seen the Pelicans do in the Willie Green regime. And I think this is the final nail in the coffin, for me at least, on any idea of one James Borrego to coach this team next year.
That is. That's all we got for y'all, man. We'll be back on which is Monday
Hold
night.
on, man, my man, Black Preacher, man. What do you say?
Oh, there you go. Sorry, brother.
Y'all need to realize that when you start two rookies and let them be the focus of your team, you will get what you are getting. I agree, Black Preacher, man. I can't argue with that.
The
Man.
money
Go ahead
out.
and hit it.
Stay cool. Nobody gets hurt. Take the money out. All of it. Come on. Wasting my time now. Come on. Come on. Stop stalling.
Definitely agree, brother. But don't you think? I think it's possible. I don't expect them to do anything starting two rookies, but I think it's possible to win games and be scrappy and win the games you're supposed to win. That's really the thing I'm getting at. But I guess that's a little too much to ask from the Pelicans.
Yeah, you got to temper your expectations. You're dealing with the Pelicans, man. That's one thing, man. These people here, man, it's just really sombering, man, to be honest with you. But we'll be back on Monday to see if the Pelicans can get a win
Tuesday
against Tuesday. You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Tuesday.
At 6:30, Playboy.
Okay, DC. All right, Tuesday.
It's not back to back, homie.
That's right. I want to get this shit over with. Tuesday at 7 p.m. tip-off time. Shout out to y'all, man. We'll be back Tuesday. Pelicans should win this game, man. They should beat this team without the Joker. But, we don't live in that world where Pelicans do what they're supposed to do when they need to do it. Anyway, we're out. We'll holler at you on the next one. Y'all hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Shout out on your social media feed. For me and DC, we out. Peace.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell him that. Birds of a feather, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumping where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever.
Hey, New Orleans! Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with the whodatdaily.com. Your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit the whodatdaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.